guys, we are on. Welcome to Patent Pending episode 12, podcast for creatives
by creatives.
And today we have on Esteban.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Our first DJ.
First DJ.
Oh man.
And what kind of music do you play?
So I'm pretty in the like house dance music sphere.
Okay.
And then it goes from there. Branches off from there. But I guess at the end of the day, that's where I always end up back at. It's just like house music.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like the main.
Yeah, that's like the all-encompassing. And then as things come and go, or trends come and go, and whatever. But
I feel like I get so lost with there's so many different genres in EDM.
So
I get so fucking lost.
Yeah, there's a ton of like sub ones. Like, oh, that's not house, that's this. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, and then tech house. But with your music, I always like it. Like I feel like in EDM, like that's the stuff I like is what you play typically.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, of course. So we met at the Win.
Yes.
And I know you're DJing at the Resorts World currently. Is that like your main squeeze currently?
Resort World, Zouk Nightlife is sort of they're my baby.
Yeah.
I love them. Yeah.
You're a most frequent client or most. Yeah, I guess you'd be frequent.
Yep.
Yeah.
A couple times a week at least.
Yeah. So you like a resident?
Yep. Yes. So
you're on the big screen on the corner.
Occasionally.
Did you get? Oh, sick.
That was a moment. Yeah, that was the first time that I'd ever been put on like that, like on the that Billboard Vegas Strip moment or whatever. So that was that was wild.
Yeah.
To see that. Yeah, it's like.
So how many times do you DJ in a week for them?
2 or 3. I mean, right now we're in, we're peak season still.
Yeah.
So IU Day Club's going Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and so's the nightclub. So some combination of day and night.
Ooh. Is that tough for you schedule wise?
It can be. I mean, you're burning the candle at both ends for sure. I mean, you guys shoot things late at night and then
do podcasts at 10 o'clock in the morning the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because when I shoot the day club and then the nightclub, it's tough.
Yeah. It feels like, not like we're at war, but
we're at war with ourselves.
That's a little dramatic. But, when the venue's completely slammed and it's 110 degrees outside and the music's super loud and it's just crazy. So, I'm like in the DJ booth and I'm watching the photographers sometimes, watching you guys like navigate through the venue to get the shots. And it's like, man, you guys it's awesome.
I know. I'm always jealous. Because like the DJs, like you guys are in the booth, you guys have your own space and stuff. So you guys get to wear like nicer shoes. I have to wear beaters because I have to like walk with the crowd and do all that stuff.
Well, while we're DJing in the booth, but I mean sometimes it's a struggle to get to the booth. So
I gotta be right there.
I'm like, no, really, I'm DJing next. Like I'm not lying to you. Like please let me through.
Oh, the security guard. Yeah.
Well, no, just random. People and that they're watching the other DJ and they're like, who are you? And I'm like,
this guy.
I'm next.
Trying to get to my spot.
I'm just trying to get to work, man.
Just trying to do my job.
Yeah.
Did you grow up here, or how long have you been in Vegas?
I've been in Vegas for 12 years. 12 years. Yeah, I'm from El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
I do remember that.
Yeah. So
Nice.
Southwest.
What made you come out here?
DJing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, very few cities where you can do this without traveling. You can stay where you live and shoot to work multiple times a week,
Because what would be the other, like Miami, right?
You could definitely Miami. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it in other cities. Don't get me wrong.
But I mean, like the big ones, obviously Vegas, Miami,
LA to an extent. I mean, it's different. Every city just has a different ecosphere in terms of like, what you can realistically charge venues and expect to get booked.
Yeah.
I mean, you could charge whatever you want. It doesn't mean you're going to get booked. But,
for sure. Yeah. To where it makes sense and it's
or you can
manageable.
ask for whatever you want. Right.
That's very true. That's the same in our line of work. People could say, oh, I charge this. Okay, cool. But if you're not getting booked, then
Yeah.
Then, no matter what you told me.
Yeah. You could charge $1 million.
Yeah.
Touching on that, I'm just curious. I don't want to know your rate or anything, but like, do you charge hourly? Is it
Mike wants to know.
No. Is it like, is it a flat rate? Is it a day, is it a day rate? Is it,
It's usually per
set?
Oh,
cool. Perfect.
Okay.
What if you open and close? Is that the same?
It just depends. I guess it depends on the, I've done both to be honest.
Okay.
But the rates, it just changes,
sure.
but it's kind of.
Yeah. Because for us, I've done hourly, I've done half day rate, full day rate. I've done a flat rate per gig. So it's just like, I feel like it's probably the same maybe. It just varies between clients.
Yeah, sometimes different venues will want you to
Do this or
invoice them certain ways, and
Yeah.
per gig or per slot sometimes is one way, or like the whole day.
Nice.
This.
So it's the same, basically.
Yeah,
We're just-
it literally depends. What's your rate? Well, what am I doing? That's like
Yeah,
the worst
actually.
question. I'm sure you obviously can
How long?
relate.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your rate? And you're like, well, what am I
For-
doing? Like, let's
Yeah,
get some details.
Let's
like,
talk about this more, right?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
a gallon of milk, or it's just $3. Like,
So how do you
Flat rate, yeah.
approach that if someone just says something random like that? Do you give them your email and say, hey, like let's talk over email? Let's
Right. I mean, if someone approaches me in a venue,
yeah.
it's
probably
it's a
dud.
lot. I mean, there's follow up questions that need to be asked. You know, like
Yeah.
you said. So it's usually let's email each other, and
Okay,
then
cool.
if you get if that leads
If it
to
even makes it
something-
that far.
yes, then we'll talk. You know.
yeah, we actually talked about that on one of the early episodes, right? Where it's like when you're already on a gig
Dude.
and somebody's asking
like,
you.
you're doing 40 other things and it's like, hey, dude.
Well, it's like
tugging
when
on
you're
your shirt.
already on a gig and somebody's asking, you're like, hey, dude, there's a time and a place. Like right now, I got to focus on this client. And like you asking
Right.
if I can DJ, like whatever, like, yeah, email me or something. But like now's not the time. Like I'm busy.
Absolutely. That's mad annoying. But
Yeah, that could be the same client that's like, hey, why are you,
Yeah.
well, because
for sure, it's like, dude, I paid you to be here. You know, like,
yeah,
I'm doing
and
something.
so everyone expects that you're
Yeah.
focused on that gig, not
Here's a good question too. Do you, when you're in that situation,
Mhm.
for me, I direct them to my Instagram and I'll have them shoot me a message and then I'll give them my email.
Mhm.
Do you do the same? Because I feel like there's not like a need for cards anymore for the most part.
right. I
How
have
do
a
you approach
sticker.
that?
Yeah, like I have a
Oh,
sticker
cool.
with a QR code,
That's even cooler. That's fucking super cool.
but it comes with caveats. Like you have to make sure that the QR code isn't generated by someone that's like gonna harangue you into like this membership thing. I just printed a bunch of QR code stickers,
Mhm.
and they're like no good because the QR code is like owned by, or not owned, but generated
you're
by
saying.
someone that's like wants a monthly
Subscription
membership
fee.
to keep the QR. I just ordered these things and bam, bam, bam. And then I was like, wait a minute.
Oh shit! I did not even know that was.
That's
a thing.
cool though. That's like a modern day version of a
But yeah,
business card.
ideally, yes. So you scan the thing and it takes you to like
I thought you were
a
gonna say
link
modern
tree.
day like pimp, or they're like, oh, cool, nice QR code on that sticker, but I'm
No,
making
no, no.
money off it.
I mean, yeah.
Well, that's what happened but by Sticker Mule. Yeah.
When you moved to Vegas, is that when you like made the leap into DJing full time, or did you already have the opportunity to do that in El Paso beforehand?
So yeah, I was doing that in El Paso. I was DJing like 2 nights a week at the same venue, Friday and Saturday, and then I was doing talent buying for them as well.
Oh, cool. What was the venue?
It was called Plum City Lounge in El
Nice.
Paso, Texas, like a long time ago, and it feels like a long time ago. But yeah, I was doing talent buying and just like back end stuff for them, and then also DJing on the weekends for them.
Okay,
so
cool.
I was already like full, and then even before that, I've always kind of just been just a DJ.
Oh, really? So you haven't had like a 9 to 5 before this?
No.
I mean, what about when you were like a teenager? Were you DJing
I-
to make money then too?
Well, I was learning. Like I picked up turntables when I was like 13.
Okay.
So
Oh dang!
through high school, I guess was just driving my family crazy in the bedroom, like that situation. I mean, you got to learn somewhere.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So yeah, and then I went to Chicago for college and started doing little stuff here and there, and then and through college, and yeah, it's just kind of always been my main thing,
Your main squeeze.
one way or another. Yeah.
What'd you go to college for?
Graphic design,
Oh, cool.
general business. Yeah.
interesting.
I think
I
you've told me
wanted
that
to
before.
go to school for graphic design. I was gonna go to the Art Institute
Yeah.
back in the day, but then when they told me that the price for like the 4-year was like $80K, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit, because I wasn't even really sure, because I wanted to do something in art,
Mhm.
like drawing and things like that, but I had no idea what it was. So it was just like, oh, what kind of things do you draw on? I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, that price tag was like, maybe you should figure out what you want first.
I did the same thing. I wanted to play. I got into lacrosse later in high school, so like I was okay. So I just wanted to play. I wanted to keep playing. So I wanted to play in college. But lacrosse is more like club, and like only the big universities really have it.
Okay.
But on the West Coast is all club stuff, so you can just go to college there and then just go on the club team and just play. So I wanted to go to University. I got accepted to University of Arizona, and then I was going to play on the club team there, and then I got hurt And then while I was hurt, I was like, oh, I'll just still go and I'll figure it out. And then I got like the dorm room. Just to hold the dorm room was like $1,000.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't afford this. I was like, my mom can't afford this.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I'll go to UNLV. And I was like, why? I don't even, just to play lacrosse? Like, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then I went to CSN for like 2 classes of photography and I dropped out.
I mean, you don't need to go to school for graphic design. I mean, the client's really not going to be like, show me your diploma. Like the work's good or it's not.
Yeah, exactly. And that's your resume is like, what have you
Your
done in the
portfolio,
past? And is it good? And this is what we're looking for. And cool.
Yeah. Where was, when you moved here, did you have connections already? Did you have friends that were already here, or what made you make that jump?
So through the talent buying stuff that I was doing in Texas, I ended up booking an artist for a show at the venue in Texas, and the tour dates for this particular artist were being handled by someone that worked in the industry here in Vegas. And I only happened to know that because their email signature had the name of the venue that they were also working for, like buying for in Vegas. So I made a mental note of that, but it wasn't like immediately. It wasn't like, oh, I'm moving to Vegas because of that connection or whatever. It just came into play when I moved here. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then I reached out and it led to something small. And then that small thing just kept
That's awesome. What was the first venue you played in Vegas?
The first venue on the strip or in general, actually.
No, just in general. It could be
So there was
downtown
this place downtown called Drink and Drag, and it was like a bowling alley / drag queen review at Neonopolis.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember the name, but I don't remember. I think I did. It was upstairs, right?
Yes.
Is it where the Nerd is now?
I don't even. Yeah, maybe I don't even know what's there now.
There's like that retail store with the glass windows, and there's escalators. And if you hang a right, there's a bar there now called the Nerd.
Yes.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. There's a bowling alley in there.
That's the place.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the reason why the memory is so shady is because I think I was like really drunk at that time. But I just remember, going up the escalators.
You have to be to end up the
Neonopolis.
I just remember,
I was gonna say,
or doing a gig.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy. So I'd go on like at 3 a.m. or something, and then every so often a drag queen would come out and perform, and it was this after hours thing. I was doing that, and then like Artisan Pool, which was like crazy. Those people that showed up there were
that place is still.
Dude, they actually just got bought out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know who. I just I have a client that's getting married or is getting married, and they were going to do their reception at Artisan in October, and she had just emailed me saying that the reception is no longer happening there because Artisan just got bought out, and then they're remodeling it. So
really cool.
I haven't looked into like who bought it or what is going to happen to it. But yeah, they sold it.
That could be cool. Nice little revamp.
That place is a party.
I've heard stories
like after parties.
Yeah. It's a little before my time, I think, but I've heard stories for sure.
At least, right. Yeah, at least back in the day. I don't know what it's like now, but
I don't think it's the same because, Ivana, my wife grew up here, and then there was another friend we were talking to that said the same thing, that like Artisan, like 10 years ago was like, that was the spot at like after 1 a.m. Like that's where you end up. So
it'll get super weird there.
Yeah.
I would always see the billboard. It's like rent our entire
for like $8K.
For like
$8K.
I've always wanted to, just for the hell of it. Like if I ever like
free reign.
I had that chunk of
casino,
money.
Or well, not casino, but hotel. For
like I got the whole thing. Let's party, friends. And you only fill up like 4 rooms. And you're like, oh,
right.
What So you did that downtown venue. What was your first like on the strip venue?
So the first venue, or I'm sorry, the first strip venue was Andrea's at the Wynn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a supper club. It was a club-stront club vibe. It was awesome, really. And it was next to Surrender and Encore Beach Club.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, so that's it's Casa Playa now, I'm assuming. Right. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, that gig led to Wynn nightlife. Right. Yeah. Nice. Encore Beach Club and Surrender, mostly Excess occasionally. And that was the better part of like 8 years or something.
Yeah, that's when we met.
Right.
I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And you had that client for the like 8 years, you said? Or that was 8 years ago?
No, it was like 8 years of consistent like working for Win Nightlife. I mean, I became a Win employee eventually.
Oh,
they just hired me.
Oh, cool.
Right.
Oh, damn.
Nice. Super cool.
Yeah, at some point it was Las Vegas Nightlife that was absorbed into like Win Nightlife, and so I just became an employee. Yeah, nice. This is a while back.
Yeah. So being an employee, was that like more beneficial towards you? Was there like perks or like pros and cons?
I mean, yeah, I mean in terms of pros and cons, I guess. It's just you're not invoicing. I mean, it's not a client, they're my employer at that, so the dynamic changes a little bit. But that happened after I'd been working with them for so long anyway that it was just sort of just a back end thing. Like,
so you went from like 1099 to like W2, W4,
whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't even know.
W9, W4, W2.
I don't know. One's freelance, one's not.
WD-40. I don't know.
Were you at that time? Were you still doing gigs outside of Win Properties?
Yes. Yeah. It was never. They never held me to
weren't
like
exclusive,
right? Even when I became an employee, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was my question. they didn't lock you into like you can't go then DJ for a obviously MGM property or Caesars.
It seems like now, and I can't speak to how much it was back then because I just really stayed put at the Win. I mean, I did stuff a little bit outside, but I didn't. They were keeping me busy enough, and I'm still busy enough now. Like for instance, I'm pretty much just always at Resort World. But I don't know. I feel like people have more autonomy to DJ where they want nowadays. It's not. I mean, I could be wrong. It just depends on the agreement that you have with your clients.
Like a non-compete,
right?
Almost. Okay.
But typically, I mean, there's stuff you don't want to do, right? Like I don't want to, since I'm a resident at IU and Zook, I don't want to go DJ like a beach or a day club. On a Friday somewhere else, but like on a Monday or Tuesday, it's cool.
Do you have the opportunity to do that? Do you get hit up to do stuff like that?
Yeah, and if it makes sense, I'll do it.
Yeah,
but like I said, I have to, respect the relationship that I have with my current,
your current
clients.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah,
for sure.
That makes sense. Of like, you don't want to do it on a Friday if you have double Saturday and then you're suffering because you're, busy from someone that's not even your. Like
right.
You said, your
exactly. Yes. Yeah, and it's a two-way thing. I think, they provide, they're giving me so much work that I don't need to go any, really.
Well, for sure. And then I'm sure there's, 20 other DJs that would chomping at your bit to be in that position that you are at Resorts World. So you don't want to ruin that relationship based off a few gigs,
Right. Yeah. Like one-off isn't worth, a whole relationship. I mean,
absolutely.
Those kind of considerations.
Do you have a manager? Like, are you under like an agency, or are you just out like representing yourself?
I'm representing myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that tougher than have you been under an agency before?
Well, so I'm with an agency right now, Mac agency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're great. And I do the majority of my non-Resort World work is with Mac agency.
Okay.
But even then, they don't hold me to. I'm not exclusive to them.
Yeah.
Even then, so it just I can still do gigs.
Do you prefer like being under an agency, or at least having a manager to help with things, or do you like having the control of those things yourself?
I mean, the control factor is always. I mean, at least for my, I don't know, my personality type, I really want to like know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'd probably be driving someone crazy. Like, okay, so what did they say verbatim? Like, it would just end up like, well, you have to relinquish control at some point. I don't think I'm like so super busy that I need a manager yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what the threshold is.
Yeah.
Or what point.
Right.
When you start pulling your hair out,
you
probably.
to that?
I guess we're at the point where I would afford to be able to pay a manager. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, but then also too, if you have like, I think like when you're.
Well, what type of manager? That's the other question.
More so like one that does the back end stuff for you, like is getting you gigs, let's say, or speaking on your half, handing all the fine details. That way, you're not out there, let's say, seeking a new client or having to deal with like all of the
Right.
stuff. Like you can just kind of go, okay, cool. I'm going to show up here. I have this booked 2 months out, 3 months out, things like that.
I think if I was traveling like quite a bit more, that would for sure help, you know, with just booking stuff, flights,
like a TM
and
almost.
traveling. Right,
Yeah.
right. But at this stage, I'm super busy,
Right.
but it's still like something that I
feel like
handle
it's
myself.
like us. Like, would you want help on the back end with your stuff right now? I just hold my girlfriend.
Yes and no. The reason
Like, you need help.
the reason why
I need
ask
your
is-
help.
the reason why I asked is because I've seen, like I said, I've shot and been around, other DJs that are under Mac.
Yeah.
And that's the only one that comes to mind that off the top of my head. But I just wonder, like I said, the pros and cons of having somebody else, like I said, help you get things or handle back end stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be like the same thing with like an athlete, right? Where it's like they have managers that help things.
Yeah, it's like I feel like when the back end stuff starts to hinder your performance on your gigs, that's when maybe you need help.
That's one indicator I'd say
Right.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, yeah.
It's so strange. It's like everyone has their own like path to get, with the creative like industries that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many ways to get to this,
Oh yeah, it's like
Same
doing,
goal.
well, it's like doing something in Photoshop. There's 20 different ways to do the same thing.
Right. There's not like a one size fits all.
Or even the going to college thing. It's like, yeah, I could have gone to music production school for DJing.
Mm-hmm.
I just taught, and picked things up. Or even graphic design, you
Yeah.
go to school or not go to school.
How'd you like Chicago?
Chicago's awesome.
Yeah, there was no like want to stay there after you graduated.
Well, so I only did a couple semesters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Chicago. And to be honest, I went because that's one of the places where house music is really from. And there's a lot of historic stuff that's still like operational and was like when I went to school back then. It was Smart Bar and all these different venues and record stores and stuff. So I was like, okay, college in Chicago. And then I was like, it's cold as shit up here. I'm like, I can't, I'm from the desert. So I ended up back in El Paso, and then the next big move was Vegas.
I was gonna say, I guess Vegas and El Paso weather conditions are pretty similar.
They are, pretty similar.
I don't think I've ever been to El Paso. I think I drove through.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting confused with Albuquerque. So
Okay.
Albuquerque, there was like not shit in.
Did you go to the Breaking Bad house?
No, we drove last November. I think it was last November. We drove from here to Houston to see my wife's family. But yeah, Albuquerque was just like there was nothing there, and everyone who recommended that drive or was like, "Yeah, just don't worry about Albuquerque. Just skip all through New Mexico. Just skip it." And
New Mexico's amazing.
I actually stayed one night. We drove from Alabama
Oh shit!
to Vegas.
Ooh.
Damn.
Moved my girl's sister back here, but long story short, we stayed a night in Albuquerque. That was pretty cool. We went to this like giant park. We got a bunch of the fire roasted chilies.
Yeah,
Got a bunch of those. Brought them home.
Yeah, it was just
like
flat.
Hatch chili.
Yeah, hatch chili. There we
Oh
go.
man, yeah,
It's pretty
great.
flat. I mean, but you could argue that
Most
Southwest
of
areas
America's
are flat.
Well, yeah, it's in a valley, and you got the mountain ranges like surrounding.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with it for like the 24 hours I was there.
I mean, we did stop and eat food there, which was good. But yeah, visually it was like just fucking nothing.
And I mean, what's the population there? It's pretty.
In El Paso,
I'm thinking
or
Albuquerque.
Yeah, because
I
got you sidetracked. I'm talking about
Yeah, how big is El Paso?
I couldn't. I'm so bad with
Like a quarter of Las Vegas, half of Las Vegas, an eighth of Las Vegas.
We'll add the population
is it
in the
much-
like notes.
Is it much smaller than
No,
Vegas?
it's not.
Oh, okay.
I always tell people El Paso is like Vegas without the strip. It's like very
cool.
similar. I don't know. It's
that's a good
just
comparison.
So
very
awesome.
similar. Yeah. So amazing.
Nice. What? Oh, I just got a cramp. What? So like, who in music like really inspires you? Who do you look up to? And then even like, is there anybody in life that you really look up to that really inspires you? It doesn't have to be just musically.
Right. Oh, these questions are always so hard. Musically, Trent Reznor is one, from Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like a producer, and he is Nine Inch Nails. He's the whole thing, and then he collaborates with other people
right
as Nine Inch Nails. So I guess the band is always like
evolving.
Sort of people are coming in and out of it, but he's like the center of it and he's producing it. And then now, like just watching his career arc to where he's like scoring movies. I mean, he's been doing that for a while now. But
I had no idea.
Oh,
about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't.
That's awesome.
Because I know they were. I think the last time I saw Nine Inch Nails, but saw the name, they had done like a show, and then that was that. I didn't even know that he was doing producing and movies. Dang.
Him and Atticus, I think it's Atticus Ross. Yeah, they've collaborated on a lot of movies together, like movie scores.
Oh dang.
But yeah, even from day one when he like his first album that he put together, I think the story goes that like he was working as a studio engineer wherever, and he was basically using the studio like at night to put together his own project, which became Pretty Hate Machine. So it's like he did it all himself. He recorded all the parts and played everything like at night after he had been engineering other people's stuff all day long. So like that work ethic from the start is like, it's pretty inspirational.
Yeah. And I think that's like a good thing to like, I always try to tell people is like use your resources around you. So yeah, if you work at that studio during the day, at nighttime.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, yeah, I'll stay up and clean. Yeah. I'll clean up the studio for you guys. And he's like doing his album.
That's awesome. So he plays, so I don't know if he still does, but you're saying for that first album, he would play each aspect of, the albums, like
I think that's how he recorded it. Yeah.
Sick. Doesn't
there's a few people that
Tame Impala, the guy lead singer, does that, right?
Right.
And then he just hires people to play that for live sets.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the way it works. Steely Dan's similar. I mean, they're before all of that, but it was the two guys, right? And the band just kind of studio artists come in and out, and they record sessions. And
that's crazy. I never knew that. I just assumed it was like these four dudes forever and always.
A lot of bands sort of. I mean,
yeah, I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, that I've heard that situation a few times where even in the instance of that of like let's say the one person is basically the band, like the other members come and go and you hire when you're on a tour and this and that, but like basically I'm the band and then I'll just
right, like the concept is just mine, and we collaborate and
Okay, I got a question. So I always listen to if I listen to like Jimi Hendrix or like anything from like late 60s, early 70s, because I know you produce music too, right? So I always listen to this and I'm like, all right, there was no computers back then. How did they do this?
Oh, I know. Isn't it insane?
Yeah. How did they they just recorded it all in like, I guess, analog?
Right. Yeah. They track things out on magnetic tape, reel to reel. And then, I mean, I guess the concepts that we use now in production with the tracks in Ableton and the buses and that's based off analog mixing boards.
Okay.
So I guess they would they'd patch things out into like everything was just modular. Yeah. Like you said. So I think they could play something back in headphones and record over that.
Right.
But a lot of times the whole band would be playing in separate rooms and they'd all be mic'd.
Yeah.
And then you'd get individual tracks, like just the vocals, just the drums, but if you listen to those tapes, those studio tapes, you can hear slightly the bleed in from like the next room over. You could hear the drummer really far back on the vocal track. That's because, the singer was listening to that in their headphones. So it's picking it up on the mic.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's picking.
Dude, that's so crazy.
And that still happens now. I mean, you still record vocals that way with the headphones on and everything. It's just not coming from a laptop. It's coming or a computer. It's coming from.
Yeah, I have like no grasp of how to even understand all of it. But I like listen. I'm like, dude, there's no computers. There's no this. There's no that. Like, how do they? And it still sounds awesome, and it still crushes it.
Like Brian Wilson from Beach Boys, like studio. Like he was one of the first, I think, artists like that was like, nah, I'm gonna produce. This is what I hear in my mind. Okay, this is the technology and instruments afforded to me. Like and he would drive people crazy, I think, because they're like, what is this kid doing? He was super young at the time, and he was like directing all these studio musicians, play like this, but I think he was using a lot of cutting edge like studio stuff.
Yeah,
really pioneered a lot of that, like producing your own work.
Right.
And so,
concept,
what was like what was the procedure before him? Like, what was he doing that he like?
I think it was just record executives like, okay, this is what you're going to sing. This is what you're going to play.
So he was taking control of what he wanted. I get what you're saying.
Like, this is what I hear in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my shit. Like,
yeah. And to the point where even his bandmates were like, bro, you're going like way out, you know? And he's like, well, I just listened to Rubber Soul by the Beatles. What do you expect? You know?
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, not being crammed into a box by the record execs.
Right. Which is, I mean, it's got to be like a big chance, you know?
What have you been
take.
listening to lately? What have you been into?
The new Fortet song. He just put out a track like Mango Noise or something. Man, I favorited it on Spotify and I forgot. But yeah, the new Fortet. There's a new George Fitzgerald track that just came out. It's really good. I'm so bad with names, to be honest.
It's all good. I mean,
Like track names.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
We're in the
But I'm a DJ, right? So you think that I'm
yeah, I guess,
like,
yeah, you
people
you
expect DJs to have like this.
But we're in the age now
Elephant
where
memory.
like you could just play an album and not have to look at the album. You don't have to change it. It's just constantly gonna be playing in your headphones. So
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was
feel
gonna
like
say.
I'm the same way.
Like going through the questions for today,
Mm-hmm.
that the questions about music, I was like, well, like my music listening habits are really just, I mean, Spotify kind of does its thing, and I like I like things as I go, and then I guess it's like this relationship that I have with Spotify. Well, everyone's person. Like I'm curious to know what other DJs liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not stuff that we play at the club that we're liking.
Yeah.
It's stuff that we're just listening to that we're,
Yeah.
at least me on my off time is not what I'm playing
What
in
you're
the
actually
club.
playing every night.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not playing 9 Inch Nails, at least.
Yeah.
Not maybe on Halloween or something, but
Would that kill the vibe?
it depends on where you're playing. Maybe if you're playing like it,
Well, I'm saying in general, like at Resorts World.
I could make it work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't
Confidence is key.
I don't remember
Got
where.
it. Yeah.
But lately, there's been some DJs that have slipped in. They'll slip in like a Nirvana, like 30 seconds of Nirvana, things like that.
Yeah.
And like the crowd, obviously, Nirvana is one of the bigger comeback bands, so to speak. So
Right.
they know that. But I have always gravitated towards that because I grew up in a more alternative music space. So I would think that, fuck, dude, there needs to be more DJs that would play on alternative. Like you could still be a DJ, but more alternative genre.
Sure.
I would go to that.
Downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of, I don't want to drop a bunch of venue names, but I mean, yeah.
Dude,
it's
drop them. Do whatever you want.
Well,
Is
you
it-
know
is
what's
it-
really cool?
Yeah,
Okay,
no, hold on.
Golden Tiki. There's DJs at Golden Tiki that
Oh, really?
play 45s, and it's all Hawaii 5-0. Like
Yeah.
it's very on
That's sick.
brand, with Golden Tiki. But they're killing it, crushing it, DJing. It's but it's not anything club, whatever. So
Yeah.
it just depends on where you're playing. that you
Well,
can
yeah,
get
and
away
this is the whole podcast is all about Vegas and Vegas creative. So if there's any dope places to plug them up. Yeah.
That's just
I
off
love
the top of my head.
I love
is,
Golden Tiki too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
always
always
get
send people
confused
there.
with Golden Tiki and Frank's Tiki.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Frank's
in my
Tiki
mind,
is
I'll
way
go to-
smokier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
that's what
for
everyone
Sure,
says.
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Frank's smoke cigarette room.
Yeah.
I mean,
Didn't
sorry.
I say this on another episode and somebody said the same thing?
Probably.
I think Ashley was saying the same thing. Like, Frank's,
Yeah.
you think of smoke.
I walked in there, my contacts peeled off. No, I'm just kidding. But it's very smoky.
What other rooms are sick that play different? I don't know.
Because I feel like
What would you call alternate? Just
Disco Pussy's another great space.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all dance music, but it's not alternative, but it's a little left of center. So
yeah.
okay.
They had Chromio
awesome.
was there and a bunch of
Claude Von Stroke
yeah.
plays there, and he plays open to close. He plays the whole night,
oh shit, okay.
which is cool.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I guess Art of the Wild at Wynn they do some different stuff. See, I'm not well versed with the music
Right.
genre, so I don't know how to say it. But it's different than the normal stuff you hear.
yeah.
I think that's a result of the whole Spotify thing. Is people's
Yeah.
music. People are able to discover way more, niche. Or you can dig as far as you want in Spotify, or you
Yeah.
can just let it serve up top 40. But I think most people get curious after a while.
You just
One
made
thing
me-
leads to another, and next thing you know, they're listening to something pretty obscure, which is cool.
But I just had a thought that are you as a DJ when you're playing or you're performing, are you held, how do I put this? Are you held to the audience? Are you their hostage in a sense? Because that if you're not playing let's say top 40 or current
Right.
things and you feel the energy kind of dip or you're fuck, let me go back
Oh,
to a
it's-
Drake song or
there's a give and take for sure. I mean, if you're not playing for your dance floor, I don't know, why even DJ,
Right.
It's like, it's really about that like connection with the audience. So yeah, the whole time you just really have to be gauging the room, reading the room. But it gets boring to just serve up like what you know is going to work. You have to like push envelopes and
A little trial and error.
play, the remix that no one else has of this popular song that you really should include in your set or whatever. But, it's a cool remix or so. Yeah, I mean, you have to keep it relatable, but also like be an artist about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to sometimes kind of do something for yourself too. Otherwise, you're just like, God damn it, dude.
I feel like we kind of have that struggle too. Like we're all blessed, and like we're very, like you said, you're busy. I know we're busy. Do you find? Because I know for me, like sometimes, like I'm very grateful for all the work that I have, but sometimes maybe it doesn't quite scratch that creative itch that I have. Do you ever find that struggle? Because like yes, like the ultimate goal. When you were like a kid, you're like, oh yeah, I want to be a DJ. I want to make money doing this.
Make money doing what you love.
But now we're doing it, and then you're like, oh, sometimes,
the whole like making money doing that. Like I just like, I want to do music. And thankfully, being able to support myself followed it, thankfully, otherwise I'd probably be doing something else.
Yeah.
But,
alternate life, Esteban, what would you be doing?
Probably graphic design.
Oh, okay.
I mean, since that's what I want to, I mean, by now it's like what I've learned is I'd have a lot of catching up to do, like a lot.
Well, yeah.
Lot.
If you did take off those 12 plus years,
I feel like every 6 months is probably like something huge or something, new comes along and becomes part of what everyone's doing. So
should I piss off every graphic designer? Be like, Canva's cool.
I feel, well, yeah. So, I still mess with stuff for myself.
That's my next question.
I do stuff for myself since I have like I feel like now it's topical knowledge of graphic design. I know the tenets, right? I know like sans serif,
right?
Like, elements of design, like the basics, the foundations. So if you know that, I feel like you can learn the software. Yeah. Those things never change; they're constants. But
so you just use it now to make your own stuff. So you're still practicing a little bit.
I keep downloading like the free trial and getting a new email.
Change it, you use a new email.
Damn you, Adobe, with your recurring memberships. I just want to buy the software once.
There is
too many recurring.
Stop trying to suck money out of me, Adobe.
Yeah.
There's another program that I use that you have the.
That's who holds you hostage. Is all those memberships,
subscription services.
Damn.
The subscriptions, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I need to go through my finances. Like, what do I not need that I'm still paying for that I probably don't even know I'm paying for?
There's an app for that. That is probably like a monthly subscription service to like tell you.
It is.
I saw the
ad,
and
it's called Truebill or some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, but you're also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I went through some of those comments because I thought the same thing. I'm like, I can't be the only one that's thought of this. And I go through the comments, people are like, wait a minute. If I'm going to go through the trouble of paying you for something, I would have just done that in the first place.
Yeah, I'm going to forget that Truebill is also one of them and shut down my card, get a new move.
Yeah.
Just
there was a thing
move
on
cities.
There was a thing on there was a thing on Shark
Change your name.
The whole thing.
There was something on Shark Tank that was like that. It was like to quit smoking or to like quit biting your nails. It was like some sort of thing to like annoying like no, it was like instead of biting your nails, it was like something that like zaps you or some stupid thing.
Right.
And then one of the judges on Shark Tank was like, if I'm gonna go through the trouble of zapping myself every time I'm gonna bite my nails or a nervous tick, why wouldn't I just stop doing the nervous tick?
Yeah.
Like, what
the zapper's for someone else that when they see you chewing your nails,
anyway.
I digress. Anyways,
Okay.
do you have like a dream venue that you want to play at, or a dream like city or country or like residency or I don't know, just
one of the so social media is always like feeding you if they know you're a DJ, they show you a lot of venues and man, there's some amazing stuff out there, like for sure.
Yeah.
But having said that, like I look at video that comes across like of Zook when like of other nights and stuff. I'm like, this venue's fucking amazing. Like, so it's like kind of I get to do that every weekend, and it's like wow. It's a blessing for sure. So I feel like you're already
there.
Oh, you're already there.
Well, I get to play in an incredible venue like regularly.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me want to do more of them.
Yeah,
of course. Like it's You know, you're always like craving that
Yeah.
energy, those light shows.
Yeah.
Ibiza's, you know, of course, sort of like the pinnacle of nightlife
Have
in
you
a
ever
lot
been?
of ways. Yeah, a couple times.
Oh, really?
Not to play, just to
to enjoy
enjoy
yourself.
and everything. But it's a totally incredible like mindset out there. It's just
Would you love to play there, or would that take away and you just like being on this side of the fence of it?
no, I definitely want to play.
I have to ask because sometimes like
No,
right,
I understand. Yeah.
because you know like sometimes for me like if somebody were asked like, oh, what would be like your favorite band or artist to photograph, and then sometimes you're like, well, sometimes I would want to just go see them to enjoy them because I know if I'm working
You don't want to see how the sausage is made.
yeah
It kind of ruins it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
No, it's good though. I mean, I feel we're the same way. I'm so grateful for what I'm doing, but you do have to have, those goals and those.
I mean, Vegas is the pinnacle
for sure.
for nightlife and, you know,
and yeah
as well,
and you do
you
play
know?
at two of the biggest ones. You play at Wynn and you play it at Zook, so I don't really know.
Yeah, for sure.
There's not really anything else that competes.
festivals, you know.
Yeah, great point.
Festivals are, you know, I've done like 2
Okay.
BPM I was doing an after party for BPM in Playa del Carmen in Mexico. That's really amazing.
Okay. What was the other one?
The other one was a nocturnal festival, like outside of Austin. It was like an Insomniac event.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, more of that.
Yeah. Okay. More
You know?
festival stuff.
Yeah, for
Are
sure.
you have you ever had an opportunity to do Life is Beautiful yet?
I haven't. No, I haven't done it yet. And unfortunately, I've always been working. You know, every time.
Yeah.
It's a busy weekend.
I take that back. I did with Win Nightlife. They had a activation like in one of the VIP. I don't know. They're not
Things.
bleachers, or it was like a chalet or something. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of
I
bougie.
get
It
what
was
you're
cool.
saying.
Yeah, and they had us DJing at that during the day, but then I had to like take off and go to the next show at night. So I missed. I didn't see the actual.
Yeah.
I think it was like Lionel Richie. I missed Lionel Richie.
That
Oh.
sucks.
Yeah.
It's a good one to see. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to definitely be grateful for what we're doing, but we always gotta like you said, you gotta innovate and push the envelope.
And one way to do that is to force, sometimes if you have to, like force yourself to go see people that you look up to or artists or concerts. Like, at least for me, to go see a concert is so refreshing to, like you said, get on the other side of the.
Yeah. And just enjoy it and not be, because on your end of it, you're enjoying it, you're feeling that energy, but at the same time, you're focused on work at the end of the day. I'm sure, to be on the other side of it, you could actually enjoy it as a normal person. Like, I'm here in the moment.
As a spectator. Yep.
Yeah.
It's really important to, I think, if you forget what's going on outside of the DJ booth, like you don't know what it feels like to be in the dance floor.
Yeah.
You lose a perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you can get,
It's a nice refresher.
I think you could definitely get tunnel vision and just, there's like past that DJ booth, there's just like a blur, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think it's good from both of our perspectives to step aside and be normal Esteban and enjoying this show.
I mean, do you guys go to like gallery exhibition, like photo? I mean,
So I was trying to like make the comparison. It's hard because I feel like there's not like a ton. I guess like a direct comparison would be like being a client, getting our photos taken, but that like rarely ever happens.
I think the comparison is just in music as well.
Yeah, like I was gonna say in music, it's hard though because if I go to a show, okay, for instance, I feel I haven't gone to a regular show in so long because I'm just
regular.
like
Define regular.
yeah,
Define normal.
just going to a show for fun.
That's
what I mean.
as
a normal mic.
Paying
as a custy.
paying for a ticket. Like, I really want to see this band.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go because it's like I'm always working at shows and doing and being in that environment. Or even here's another good one too. Like when I'm driving home after like shooting a show,
I think I know what you're
I'm
gonna
listening
say.
to a podcast.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
not listening to music,
Right.
or I'm listening in silence,
Same.
Yeah, because it's like I've just been doing this all day, and I feel like it's ruined my. I was just talking to him about this band called Turnstile.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know them." And I was like, "Dude, I'm so like out of the loop of like cool shit."
Is that like pretty? That's like what's going on right now. Turnstile.
They're newer in a sense, but not really. They've been around for quite a while. I don't know their exact date, but they've been, I'd say, like at least since I've known about them, at least like the last 6 years.
Okay.
So they're not super new, but he had just brought them up, and I was like, oh yeah, I know Turnstile because they're a little bit more underground. But it was just funny that Mike had a moment, and I didn't mean to shit on it, but he was like, God dang it, dude. I was like, well, to be fair, like I don't listen to him a ton, but I am familiar with the name and other bands that they've toured and played with. So.
I thought I was gonna like one up him. I'm like, yo, dude, check this out. I was like, nah.
Turn him on to some new.
Like I said, you kind of have because, like I said, I'm familiar with them, but I probably couldn't name a song.
So they, from what my understanding from the 3 days I've listened to them, their newer album, they're like a punk band, but they just did a bunch of stuff with Blood Orange.
Okay.
So it's like different.
Yeah.
And cool. It's
I want to hear that.
It's sick. I'm actually going to go see them in November with my buddies.
Oh, are they playing here?
Brooklyn Bowl, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Thanks for inviting us. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Now we get the,
yeah. So I'm like so out of the loop with like the cool new shit. Do you feel the same way? Like when you're like driving home, you're like, I'm going to drive and listen to my thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If only because my ears are straight up fatigued. Like I just don't want to hear I just don't want loud noise at all. Or talk of some kind of podcast or something.
Do you wear like monitors?
Not while I'm DJing, but hearing protection when I'm not DJing for sure. Yeah. In fact, I've lost my in-ears pretty recently that I'd had for a long time.
Like a nice molded pair.
Yeah. So I'm after that. I need to get that like ASAP to be honest.
But you don't wear anything when you're playing?
No, but I have control. Well, the venue itself is loud. All those are pretty directional. The monitor's super low for me.
Okay. I was going to say, because I know sometimes.
Oh, if people could turn it up, if that knob could just spin without stopping, it would spin without stopping.
Dude,
it would
Little John, I need 2 pairs of earplugs when I'm in the DJ booth.
It gets loud.
Oh, his playback's so loud?
It's so loud. I'm like, dude. Damn.
I think,
I'm dying over here.
You're like, that person has done many, many venues for many years.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe hasn't protected their hearing. Because it ends up being a battle. Like, it has to get louder and louder and louder for them to hear.
You just hear,
and then the tinnitus. Yeah.
Do you have tinnitus at all?
I'll get it'll come in and out, but
spurts.
I think my hearings. I mean, I've tried to protect it as much as I can.
That's cool. That's something like I did like the first year when I was shooting like in nightlife. I didn't wear them. I'm like, what am I doing?
I've done that a few times. Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god. And then when I forget them, because I'll usually have them. I used to have a pair in my backpack, pair in the glove box, and then I think I had a pair in my vest jacket if I did wear it. But now I have them like right in the center console. That way, like when I leave that's the last thing I see is those baby blue headphones. Because
are they molded?
No, they're just like the cheap.
Anything's better than nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, they're not the best.
I was gonna say I would recommend the disposables over anything.
Oh,
maybe not if you're playing.
Ones? The foam ones are great because they'll block out.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Well, and then you can lose them, and then you're not heartbroken. You buy nice ones, you lose them, you're like, fuck.
Yeah,
but for you, like
they're like $300 or something. They're really expensive. The inners are great though. You can train yourself to DJ with them in. Okay. Which even when I had them, I would take them out. It's just really weird. It doesn't.
Well, it's a feeling thing. You want to be able to feel it and hear it.
You don't feel it. It just.
Yeah. Fergie, he told me wearing earplugs while DJing is like wearing a condom during sex.
It's not the same.
I mean, it's an ear condom. Yeah. Basically.
I know I should do it, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. No, because that's like my biggest, like anybody who like is newer to like shooting anything in a loud environment, that's my biggest recommendation. Dude, honestly. It's like, yeah. Because I get the little boo every once in a while. And then I have a friend of mine who's like, he won't even shoot shows anymore for the most part because he's like, it's too messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had earplugs in the other day when I shot, I was driving home and I just had the, and then when I came home, Yvonne was talking to me and I was just annoyed because she was like yelling from another room. And I was like, I can't hear you.
Oh, that is a constant argument with Crystal and I.
Yeah. And then she's like, you're fucking grumpy. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I just can't. Because I was mad at myself because I had earplugs in. Oh, sorry. I had one in. I lost one. So it was just the right ear. So when I got home, I'm like, I was just annoyed that like I lost the one. And she was talking.
So you were really feeling the difference.
Yeah.
Like, this is what one ear is without. Yeah. And this
because I lost one. I put them both in my pocket.
One.
I found the one. I eventually found the second one later. I just at the time when I was like getting blasted in front of the booth, I was like, and then
I feel like an old man because I wear earplugs at the hockey games when I shoot the Aces game,
Sports
I
games.
wear
Oh,
them.
yeah, I would.
Sporting events get loud too, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll like
Vuvuzella's like right in your ear. Like
yeah. And I'll go like do anything and it's like a little loud. I'm like, I wish I had earplugs right now. So
Yeah, because it's almost like a hangover. It's like the next day you're like just like
the worst is when you're in bed and you're trying to sleep and you're just like, oh, my ears are blowing out right now.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so definitely protect your ears, guys.
Yes.
Anything else?
as a self-employed individual,
Uh-huh.
do you ever experience self-doubt?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, why did I not follow the trajectory as, my peers, like in my graduating class, my friends,
As far as college or like
you
high
know,
school or
because since I've pretty much done DJing my entire adult life, I've supported myself DJing.
Mm-hmm.
It's given me time to, like my friends that have gone to, like I have a buddy that's, he does like sleep studies and he's done a lot of medical, he's educated, schooling, he's got the job. He works for like Stanford.
Okay.
And, we graduated at the same time from high school. So he's like a brother to me, but I'm like, oh my God, the security of that, he's in the medical field. This is something that always will be needed. Maybe even more, just those kind of thoughts.
Yeah.
But it's like people also need to enjoy themselves and experience art and experience music. And, and those people that do those things need
a release too.
And they come to us.
Exactly.
I was just thinking that same thing. Now, if you asked him, he'd probably say the same thing about you of my buddy Esteban. We graduated. He's a DJ in Vegas. He gets to make his own schedule if he wants to. He works for himself. Like he doesn't have to sit in like a mundane, box. Essentially.
Right. Yeah. All those comparisons. And we've had these discussions, for sure. And I guess it just comes down to like the grass is sort of greener. I mean,
perspective.
Yeah. Life's life, man. It's tough one way or another. And it's rewarding one way or another.
That's great.
Oh,
seriously.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's rewarding one way or another. And it's, it's tough one. Yeah. Cause it looks cool over there, but like, dude, those people have the same issues that we have.
I mean, I'm doing invoices in QuickBooks or whatever it is on Mondays, like feeling the grind of like an office situation. Like it's,
And I'm sure that he has self-doubt too. I'm sure he compares himself to people that are in his field, his peers.
Why am I this much in debt for all this schooling? Do I really I'm not saying that's what he thinks verbatim, but maybe that could be something after all this schooling and you're doing what you love or you're doing what you went to school for anyway. You're like committed to that. After you're
too invested,
you're a professional at a certain, like that's what you're doing.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the self-doubt too comes from social media. For me, at least.
You think so?
Absolutely. Just like we've talked about 100 times. Well, not 100 times. Only had 12 episodes.
I was like,
almost every
11 times.
Almost
11 times.
Yeah, every episode we've talked about this. It's like, oh, my peers are doing this. My peers are doing that. Da, 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 da. But then on the back end of it too, I feel like even if I didn't have social media, I'd be like, well, shit, people don't know I'm staying busy. People don't know what I'm shooting. How are new clients going to find me? It's just like a constant hamster wheel in my pea-sized brain just going nuts.
That's all of us. I don't know. That's me.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Do you find some parallels with that?
Well, like the how we were talking about what venues do you want to play or what do you want to do? I mean, go on Instagram for 2 seconds. And I think, I alluded to that is you see it all and it's like, yeah, I want to do that. And then you're like, wait, why am I not doing that? Like, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
Oh, people for sure see me DJ in Vegas. So like, why am I not? And why am I not? And why, it's like, yeah, you could go down those rabbit holes with social media because everyone's posting their most idealized version of what they're doing, not the back end, not what it took to get that gig, not, all that stuff.
Right. Like, why am I not playing this festival in Sweden right now? Like,
it's like, oh, maybe I don't have like, I don't have a hit out or, if anything, it's like, well, what am I not doing to get there? It's like flipping it to be like motivational, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like
things don't just happen. People don't just book you because like,
absolutely.
You got to put in the work.
And I feel the same way because I see it. I'm like, all right, yeah, I just got to like put in work. But then also that could be negative too because then I feel like now I'm a workaholic. And then I'm like, well, if I'm not working, I just went on vacation. I felt guilty.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm like just chilling. Even though I needed it and I had such a great time. But there was a little bit of me. I'm like, fuck,
Like standing still is moving backwards kind of feeling.
Damn,
Dude.
that's a second good
bangers, bangers. Esteban with the bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it
standing
feels to
still-
me.
That's
It's like if I'm not posting, people are forgetting. If
Yep.
I'm not,
exactly.
and it's like not necessarily. I mean,
Not at all, especially for us who are all Vegas locals. We've been here for a while. Like we're, we're I don't know about household names, but like we have a mainstay for the most part in comparison to people who just moved here and newer people. We have a great network of people. That's better.
that's what I say. Yeah, network
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, it's tough. To like you said, if I'm not showing off that I'm busy and I'm doing this, then people or think I'm not busy or I'm just forgotten about. And like sometimes, like in my case, and I'm sure maybe and even some like certain things you just can't show off. Like 2 weeks ago, I was on a shoot with MGM and they had a shoot with one of the Raiders players, and I
Okay.
was doing behind the scenes stuff. So I was shooting the MGM in-house people shooting their shoot with the Raiders guys. So it's like I can't really show anything off because it's they're doing a promo for their collaboration. So it's like I got to show something off,
Right.
but I can't. So like
It feels like a wasted opportunity.
yeah. Well, what do
Or
I do? I can't show it off yet. What do I do? Oh my god! Like people are forgetting. So sometimes you just got to go.
Yeah, you just gotta let it go.
Like I am busy and I'm getting paid and I'm doing this, but I just
Yeah.
not
Such a
showing the
bummer,
rest
dude.
of the world or like these few hundred people that like
Yeah.
Yeah.
gives a shit.
It's a bummer, like the stranglehold. I feel like.
I feel like everyone feels that pressure though, and everyone's sort of realistically doing what they're doing, and they're stuck in their, or they're like, in their lane doing their thing, and
Yeah.
people maybe aren't like, "Where's Esteban?" Like they'll
Yeah.
just see me come up and be like, "Oh, there he is," but not like I don't know.
Do you think that people outside of our industry has the same struggle? Like somebody who's a nurse, or do you think maybe
Well-
they do the same thing like with their friends? Like, oh, my friends are doing this, or
It's crazy because like there's a lane for every profession online. You could, if you want to be that nurse that's like the Instagram nurse or whatever,
Well,
and
I mean,
they talk
'cause,
about,
like-
and they make a social thing out of it.
well, because like maybe somebody with a 9 to 5 is more job security. We don't have as much job security, so that's why I feel like I need to constantly be posting.
Yeah, a lot of people's job security, or anyway, Instagram doesn't factor in to
Yeah.
someone that is a bank teller, or
Yeah,
at least Instagram's like a personal thing,
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
and we, well, not so much,
Is there anything? Do you get hit up for any gigs that you like don't want to do? Like if someone's birthday party, you're like,
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't want to like turn down. That's a tough question to answer like diplomatically.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
sure, everyone gets hit up for things they don't want to
Yeah,
do. Thankfully, I'm really busy, so it's usually
Yeah,
it's
that's probably
tough
what
to
he's more
schedule
getting
it in anyway.
Yeah,
yeah,
Because I truly am like taking a lot of work right now.
yeah,
yeah. No, so you are blessed in the opportunity to where you have a full enough schedule to where you don't have to do necessarily as many odds and ends jobs
Anything else is extra
as bonus. Yeah, that's awesome.
for now.
That's
I
such
mean,
a-
we are in high season.
Peak
You know how
season.
that goes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
talk to me in December, and I'll be like, I'll do anything.
Does December kind of slow down for you?
Yeah, like
Traditionally.
just fall, winter. Basically, what is it after Labor Day to
which is
Memorial Day?
this
Be a little lull.
weekend.
Holla.
So there's a lull until, gratefully, in recent years, September's, except obviously the pandemic, in recent years, September has been super good because of not because of Labor Day, but because of Life is Beautiful and iHeart that are here in town.
Oh, so those
And
two.
then now we have sports are starting. We're on the tail end of basketball season, so the Aces are in playoffs, and then hockey season will start in the fall.
That's right.
It's a little busier now, but traditionally,
Yeah.
November, December are the two slower months, and then like January, February, like a lot of corporate stuff, convention stuff.
right.
A lot of people trying to spend that tax money.
Yeah, November, December is like the. And I don't know about you, but last November, December, I feel like it stayed busy all the way through because it was
That pent up
ramping
demand.
back up.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
People were still like getting back out and experiencing like nightlife again.
yeah.
So people were just coming in droves for sure.
Do you find that lull, Sean, in those same months in November, December? Because as far as elopements, Are people coming to town to do elopements, or are they doing family stuff for holidays and it's a lull for you as well?
November is a little bit busier right now than December. So we'll see. Because I feel like in recent years, December is usually like family photo time.
Oh,
There'll be some of those. Which if I'm busy, I won't do any this year. But in previous years, the December's usually been like corporate events, and family stuff.
Nice.
What's the one like? Yeah, like what's your like? Hey, come DJ my
for me,
nephew's
we're gonna put
4-year-old party or something.
For
And I'm
me,
like, I don't know what to
it's
play.
Someone's like a birthday party or something like that, or I don't want to say because I have one coming up, but
Exactly.
Well,
It's hard to answer.
They're a close friend, and I don't know if they're listening, so I might be able to say. But like, I got hit up from a close friend because I've done her graduation photos and things like that she's having a baby shower.
Okay.
So normally I'd be like, that's not my cup of tea, but because it's like a family friend, I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So that would be my like a
that's
private birthday party.
Line in the sand.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Well, it's like me with weddings. It's like friend of a friend or a friend I'm down to do, but like the random couple, like not interested. Just because, like me, I'm gratefully in a position to where I don't need to do the random wedding. But
and it's not your forte. I mean, you do like live, like performance, like action shots.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
but I also used to shoot weddings full time at a wedding chapel. That's how I got
to be your forte.
That's how I got my start. Yeah, and
so you've been there. You like
and I just did a wedding in Tahoe when I was there. So
okay,
I'm still pretty sharp.
No, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, dude, hire Mike for your wedding.
Yeah, but
photos,
that's the thing,
for
though.
sure.
Please don't, because I don't want to do it.
You've done them already. Yeah.
If I have to, it's there. Or if I choose to,
people are always going to get married.
Exactly.
It's always going to be a lane.
What about divorce photo shoots?
I would love to do divorce.
Have you done one?
No.
I mean, what would that even?
That'd be funny. I was talking to somebody the other day.
People get bottles for the divorce parties, so I'm saying like.
I was talking to somebody the other day. They mentioned that. Fuck, who was I talking to?
Like, what would that look like? Would it be the actual couple, like, fuck you?
Oh,
like,
it was Chris.
Like, framed or something? Like,
Chris, when we had Chris Trim on, he was mentioning that of like photographing a friend's wedding, and then it's like if their second, third marriage.
He was in the police force, and he had a wedding
photograph
photography business.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was saying that he would shoot a lot of weddings from the police force
Yeah.
in California, and the turnover rate was very high, so he had a lot of repeat customers.
And
turnover meaning like
the
not
cops would,
the weddings were
The cops would have multiple marriages through their lifetime.
Yeah, he was saying he's photographed a couple of his buddies, like their second and like third marriage. But a divorce one, I feel like that would probably just be like a party.
Yeah, I don't think the couple would be together. Yeah, no.
Damn.
That would be a very open couple if they
right
for like Vegas, for example. It's like we booked a trip to Vegas, one last hoorah. We're getting divorced, but we want photographs.
I mean, if you're that cool to do that, you probably
wouldn't.
Together.
Yeah.
It'd probably be just either like her group or his group. That's like, fuck it, I'm free.
Yeah, it's more of that. Yeah.
Not that marriage is a bad thing,
Right,
honey. If you're listening, both.
So I know you're sober.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard to be, quote unquote, the life of the party and being sober?
No.
Because I mean, you've been sober 13 years
13
now,
years.
right?
Yeah.
You got 13, right? Or that was for
Well,
10, that's
this
10
for
years,
10.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. August 1st, 2009. Sobriety date.
I think you just passed one.
Yeah, it's my sober birth month. Or yeah. Not
Is it
really.
pretty easy now that
I don't want to say easy. Like I've never got it beat. Like I'm never gonna say I'm cured of my.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying is it easier now compared to in the earlier years of your sobriety to DJ and like be the, because I don't know how you were previously. I didn't know you.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not sober, but
Right.
I drink far less than normally that I used to. And like my friends go out and I'm like, dude, like they're gonna be drinking. I'm not gonna drink. I really want to see them and I miss them, but it's like I don't know,
feeling like you're not on the same like level,
or even like fear of missing out, like FOMO.
Oh,
almost.
okay. Oh man,
I don't know.
Definitely definitely not that. At least not anymore. But
okay, so maybe previously.
Not even fear of missing out of anything. Like I'll show up to stuff. I just know when it's like if I'm not working and things start getting like really crazy, then it's like time for me to just bounce.
Out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just like knowing when to separate myself from stuff, but that doesn't
that's
even come up anymore really that often. Like,
sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna add on. Does everyone think, and it could just be normal people, you know, in the club. But does everyone think because you're a DJ that you're just hyped up and drunk and the party animal? Is there that stigma around like a DJ?
I think that's that could be the perception people have that haven't met many DJs. But typically, if we're working in Vegas consistently, we're pretty serious about what we do.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see us in that. I mean, I'm speaking generally, but yeah, typically, like if you're a DJ and you're at work, you're pretty like, I'm doing this show
on top of it.
Yeah. So I think there is that expectation, but I think people realize it's a little more complex than that.
Okay.
Like they get it typically.
Well, that's cool. We're just.
Well, because like sometimes like
it just depends. Honestly, it's really just depends.
Because I would think that like people would want to party with the DJ because like whenever I'm shooting the clubs, people always think that like,
oh, let's take a shot.
They think that I want to party, and I'm like, no, like I'm at work, number one, and number two, like for me personally, I just don't drink in an environment. Like I rather have a drink if I'm comfortable, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like I'm not just gonna do a random shot because somebody's like, let's go wild.
Yeah.
Like I'm good.
It just also as you know, as I get older, it's just like
that is something I'm realizing too. The older I get, the easier. Just like
it's just not part of the equation. Like it just becomes less and less.
Okay.
Like I don't know.
Yeah. So you have a rhythm down for yourself that works. And
I feel hungover after a big night without alcohol.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just such a like a rush of like, you know, a little bit of stress, butterflies.
It's like it's like
endorphins.
a dopamine. It's a dopamine dump as alcohol or substances could potentially be as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We were up till my buddy, one of my best friends, came into town the other night, Friday night, and that was the only chance I had to see him because I was busy all weekend. So we met him after dinner or whatever, but we were up just chatting, catching up until like, 2 a.m. By the time we got home, it was 3 a.m. Didn't, have a drink or anything. We weren't even partying. Literally, we were just outside of Korean barbecue, just talking.
Yeah.
Didn't go to bed till like 3 a.m. And my wife and I woke up the next day and we were just like, good Lord, I feel like shit. I'm like, you would think that we drank. Like, it didn't.
What was the Korean barbecue?
I was gonna say, you got the meat sweats.
Pretty heavy.
We didn't eat.
The meat sweats. Yeah.
No, they were eating, and we met them after.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's like just being up till 3 a.m.
Contact,
dude.
High of Korean barbecue.
I don't know, but yeah.
Well, and maybe too, like you haven't seen him for a while, so you're like excited.
Yeah, but I mean, just being up till 3 a.m. just like did a number because then we woke up at like 9 or 10. I just felt like shit. I'm like, dude, I didn't have a drink, but
you didn't sleep long enough. You had to sleep till like 1 p.m. minimum.
So okay, can I ask you that? The older that I'm getting, the harder it is for me. Like if I will work and go to sleep at 4, I still can't really sleep past like 10. Do you ever find that with DJing?
There's probably like one day a week following like the weekend where I'm like
just sleeping
till like 1. Like I guess 1's kind of like okay, get up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I could sleep, and that's if I'm like super tired. But yeah, generally speaking, like I find myself waking up.
No matter what, I'm just like, yep, okay, I'm up now.
It also takes a while to like fall asleep at the end of the night.
Yeah, right.
I'm just like
mind's going. Yeah, you're amped up. You just got out of like a big,
it's a lot to just be
environment.
Like, crazy, and then quiet all by yourself, lights off. Like,
do you have a routine? Do you do anything like when you get home? You just like hang out on social media, or like watch TV, or
a little hot pocket,
melatonin. Yeah, some Oreos and milk.
I'll just go over like the videos on Instagram from the stories or whatever maybe of that night. Just eat something amazing and then crash out.
Specifically, it has to be amazing though.
Well, anything tastes
trash.
Yeah, I mean, as amazing as you can put together or find it.
Given the hours.
Yeah. So it's like Pho Kim Long or something.
That's pretty amazing. That fits the bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vietnamese food's the shit.
My late night staple for the longest time after the nightclub was Roberto's.
Oh yeah,
it's right
California
here.
burrito.
I usually do cheese quesadilla and then a veggie burrito.
Oh, a veggie burrito.
Ooh,
yeah.
Nice.
Are you vegan?
No. It just sounded good at like 3 a.m. when I'm coming home. Plus, I already I'm ordering it with a quesadilla, so I'm like, let's not go crazy, even though it was too much because those quesadillas.
Even though you have half a pound of cheese.
Yeah, right. Like.
Yeah, the Roberto's burrito. Me and one of my roommates. That was we'd always go home on the way home, get Roberto's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
We'd
stuck
go
in a
see
routine.
Mr. Robert.
Mr. Robert.
Yeah.
See a man about a horse.
Yeah. You think, yo, it's all wrong. Yeah.
So what are you doing when you're not working, when you're not DJing? What's Esteban's normal day?
Invoicing. No, I'm just kidding. That's Monday.
No, I said when you're not working.
Bookkeeping.
When you're
okay.
just trying to be
I guess that's work too, huh?
Yeah.
Making invoices.
Yeah.
is
Fuck
work.
yeah, it is.
Feels like work.
It's administrative work is what I consider
It's
it.
the hardest part. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no.
Well, it's the most tedious
it
part
is.
anyway.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what? Staying on top of it. QuickBooks has helped a lot, though.
Really?
Straight up. It's worth it.
Yeah. So we talked about this before. QuickBooks is nice, but then it's nice if you can invoice directly out of QuickBooks,
Mhm.
but then you send the link to get paid. But then like when you're like
Oh, yeah.
billing properties and stuff, like you can't send them a link. You have to
They're
still-
like, yeah, no, you're following
Yeah,
our
like,
rules.
Can you make a PDF? Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of finagling with that QuickBooks. You guys need to make a like export PDF button on the thing.
Yeah, you have to.
You really have
save
to
it,
fight
and then-
with it.
and then print to download, and then
Yes.
save,
and then
PDF.
change the name of it because it's some obscure 16 million long whatever. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
when I'm not working,
Yeah.
I digress.
Or pissed off about QuickBooks.
a lot of, I don't know, just chill, play with my dog, Roscoe. He's a Boston Terrier. Hanging out with him, working on producing music, which, you know, that's me, like me as an artist, you know, doing my own thing.
Right.
Uh,
You work out, you like go on hikes,
I need,
type of thing.
oh man, I'm not such an outside person, but I definitely could be more physical. Like I need to get back into the gym.
So what do you do with the pup? Do you have a? Are you moved? Do you have an area for your dog there? Like, do you take him to the park?
Yeah, we go to the park.
Okay, cool.
But he's a Boston Terrier, so he's kind of he's a little bit delicate, I guess. He's
okay.
kind of like when it's too hot, you can't really
For
take him.
sure. Yeah.
So yeah, we just mess around and stuff.
So just relaxing. Just
Just kicking it.
nice.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, man.
I try and little trips here to LA or like whatever, just car trips.
Well, you just
Like,
went and saw your sister, right?
Yeah, I was just in Boston.
Did you take the pup?
No, he stayed.
Nice.
He stayed, but yeah, we did a ghost tour in Salem. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I didn't see any ghosts.
You
but
didn't see any ghosts? You just
I-
see any like weird like that could kinda
Apparitions.
be- yeah, you could consider it.
It's so old out there, like something has happened like everywhere. They're like, okay, so and so witch was burned at the stake here, and someone was buried here, and yeah, it's cool. It's cool to do, like coming into like the fall. I don't know, it made me get into the fall.
That actually,
like,
that
Halloween
sounds really
vibes.
Are we gonna book a trip?
Cool. Well, I mean, okay.
Next
so,
podcast
Is Pat
from
Penning going on the road?
Well, off camera, you were telling me that because I brought up Hocus Pocus, and Hocus
Yeah.
Pocus takes place there. I thought it was Salem, Oregon.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
But there's a Hocus Pocus 2 coming out.
I would have failed trivia.
Maybe it's gonna be in that Salem.
Okay. No, I don't think so. But yeah, that's
The witches go west.
Yeah. Well, they can fly, right? So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be hard to relocate.
yeah, that would be cool, man. The movie was so sick with the fall, with the falling leaves. Like we don't really get that in Vegas.
No, me and my sister kept like doing that like walk they would do.
Yeah.
We kept like doing it down the street, and people were probably like, "These guys are idiots," but whatever.
So, like, yeah, we see this every week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
original.
Fucking out of towners.
it kind of felt like the town from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, okay.
But like witchified, because it
Oh,
was
okay.
like very like
Little storefronts.
Main Street USA vibe,
Okay.
but witchified.
Okay.
Anyway,
Nice. So is there like some gimmicky stuff there? Kind of
a
like
ton. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
But you're like, that's exactly what I wanted.
yeah. There's like all these these funny shirts and stuff.
Did you get any like knickknacks?
Did
no.
you get
No, yeah. Dude, I love
one of the- one of
knickknacks
the-
are the shit.
one
Yeah,
of
like
those,
little-
We got some stuff in Lake Tahoe, brought it home, t-shirts, all
all the
I'm a
stuff.
sucker for that.
It's definitely there for you, Mike,
Okay.
in Salem.
But
can
did you
all-
get anything?
No, I didn't.
No? I like to get like little things for my desk. If I get like
I put it to you this way: like, if I would have seen something, nothing caught my eye
Okay.
that I wanted to like lug with me back.
okay. Just good times with your sister.
Just good times,
Memories?
just memories.
I
Yeah,
used to do coffee mugs, but then obviously after a while you're like, oh, I'm not gonna have like 40 coffee mugs of like all these places. Now we just do
Yeah.
magnets.
See, magnets are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Cool.
Or
Little
magnet
fridge.
people, I guess.
Your magnet people.
They have a few right there on the side there. Paris. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Keep Portland weird.
Yeah. It's
They
cheeky.
keep Austin weird. ones too.
Which is like, oh, I guess you can make anything weird. Keep Salem witchy.
There you go. They probably have that.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
If not,
we're onto something.
just royalty check me.
Have you been watching anything cool on TV? Is that like a way you relax? Movies, TV?
Yeah. What did I recently? I rewatched The Departed.
Oh, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Gangster movies
So
and
good.
all that stuff. Love it.
Good plot. I started to rewatch that for like the third time on my most recent flight, and I was like, oh, that's
Okay.
right. This storyline is such a good little double.
Dude.
What is it? A double informant?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like spy versus spy kind of thing.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a good flick.
There's nothing worse than being on a flight and watching a movie and there's like a sex scene or like someone's getting their head blown off. I'm like, fuck. Shit.
Well, yeah. So I saw what is it? Everything all the time.
All at once.
That
I heard
one.
great things about it. I haven't seen it yet.
So I saw it on the flight,
Mhm.
and there's like a crazy like fight scene, and like, yeah, I'm not even gonna go in further, but
Mhm.
I was like,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
crazy. But you know, everyone else is watching it too, so whatever.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I started to watch on that same flight. I started to watch the latest Jackass.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Yeah.
Oh.
though, even though I was
But
like,
come on, you know what's gonna,
Yeah,
you know where
I
that's
mean,
headed.
because yeah,
The opening scenes is dick, I think.
the opening scene is literally Dick Godzilla, and for
I haven't seen it. So
yeah, I watched like 10 minutes and I realized I was like, yeah, this is definitely not flight appropriate.
why would they even have it on the?
I thought the same thing when I
Whoa.
clicked on it.
Edgelords.
I always watch it on my phone.
No, I watched it on the pull up screen, so it was
Oh,
definitely like
really?
everyone. Like I said, I was just like,
And it wasn't blurred out or anything.
no, it was full on. I don't know why I
Full-on
clicked on it in the
Dick
first place
Godzilla?
because I was like, dude, these guys are like in their 50s. Like, it's not funny to me anymore because I'm like, it's just gonna be like fart jokes and like shit like that. And yeah, the whole first 10 minutes is like Dick Godzilla, and I'm like, yeah, I should probably change this because this is like making me look weird that I'm watching like dicks being slapped on a public plane.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always on my phone, so it's like if there's a sex scene, I'm like, dude,
Just drop your phone for a
it's just,
sec.
I feel fucking so awkward. I feel like I'm watching it with my mom or something. You know,
Yeah.
as a little
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
I'm like, fucking,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I don't have too many flights where it's just in screen thing. I'm usually on a fucking rickety ass airplane. Spirit.
It was rickety, but
You
they
had the
had
screens?
a screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What are some of your like long term and short term goals?
That's another. Yeah. I mean,
It's a deep
wow. I'm
question.
just directionless. I don't even know where I'm going. It feels like that sometimes.
Well,
but
it feels that you're very go with the flow. You're just happy doing what you're doing. You're grateful. So it's not a bad thing.
But I mean, would you want to like be like a traveling DJ? Would you want to be like gone for 8 months out of the year, just cranking out all these festivals, or does that just seem like too much on you?
no, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I want to. I want all that experience, and I think it'll come. It's sort of an organic. I mean, there's no rule book. It's really hard to say like if I do this and this and this, then for sure this is gonna happen. But
Yeah.
I mean, one can hope, and you kind of just put your best foot forward, and take the opportunities, make them for yourself. Make the opportunities where you can create them. Find a way to just go for it. I don't know. It's all very vague stuff, but
Right.
Yeah.
specific goal. I mean, there's like metrics we all like set for ourselves, maybe, or
Yeah.
I don't know, some that I set for myself, but I don't know. I guess I don't have any specific.
Well, I mean, like, okay, so like it can be broad, like play more festivals, like you said that earlier.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe do you want to like maybe produce a couple more songs by the end of the year?
Yeah. I mean, the music production thing is definitely something that you want to. Yeah. There's like a release schedule that you can definitely plot out. How to effectively drop tracks and then give it enough time to like do its thing, and then the next one, and
then do like an EP or something.
right. Or an album. You like lead up to an album with like
Right.
a release. Like
Do you have like a room in your house, like a studio?
a studio. Yeah, I have. Well, I recently moved into a smaller space, but I did have like a full studio setup, with like external gear and like keyboards and modular stuff, and all that stuff's in storage now. But you can do it on a laptop.
Oh,
honestly.
really?
Yeah.
You don't need like the
It-
big footprint necessarily.
If you don't want to. There's so many ways to do it, but yeah,
Mhm.
you don't need that much space. Like the footprint is super small.
Well, I mean,
Can be.
It can, yeah, even like life goals, because I know you just sold your house, right?
Right.
And then you're probably waiting to buy another house. So is that
Yeah.
another goal of yours?
That okay, yeah. On a personal, well, yeah, I guess, yeah, in
Well,
general,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like
I'm looking for a
professional
house.
related.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're
yeah.
actively looking now. Or are you gonna like try to
My
wait
eyes-
it out a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching what's going
market.
on and what's available and stuff, and it seems to be, it's better than it was. It was,
Downtrending a little bit.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty disheartening, pretty recently. You know, I'm like, man, what am I going to do? You know, there's nothing
Yeah.
to
I think it was like
choose from, and
yeah. I think I just saw the mortgage or rent went up by like 17%
Went
in
up.
the last like 6 months. Or last
Yeah.
year maybe. But like it's insane.
Yeah, it's I don't want to like point the finger, but it's a lot of like people from California moving out here
oh sure,
and buying, like being able to throw 30-40K above asking price to get something, and then people
Right.
who live here or just who live by their means are like, I
Yeah.
can't compete. You just threw an extra 40K at this thing. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, cash offers and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I think it was like you have to work 90 hours a week at minimum wage to afford the average rent.
Well, my
Las
buddy,
Vegas.
one of my best friends lives in LA. He said he doesn't, I don't know exactly like the neighborhood, but he said he doesn't live in like the best spot, but his studio for what he has is like decent. So he pays like 2,500 for like a studio apartment. And so he's like, fuck, 2,500 there. If I could afford that, I could come out here at 2,500 out here, or 2,000 out here is huge. So it's like, that's kind of everyone else's mindset where it's like,
Yeah.
I'll still spend less than I was in California, but it's still way more here. And so,
I feel like that gap's getting smaller even.
Yeah.
And like rent is truly pretty up there.
$2,500 like is
for
like,
a studio,
Yeah, and then that's like a $450,000 house mortgage.
yeah,
Depending on your interest rate.
it's
but
like
yeah,
a mansion out here.
that's what but not
So-
but yeah, the gap is getting smaller, and it's unfortunately, like, and then now like we're supposed to get an NBA team and then an MLB team and a lacrosse team, and like that's just gonna drive everything up even more.
Vegas is becoming more and more desirable,
Yeah.
for reasons not related to what you'd expect, gambling and gaming and all
Yeah.
that stuff. There's so many emerging.
I mean, I was born and raised here, so like I
Oh,
remember.
you see it.
Yeah, I've seen the progression of it. But yeah, how old were you when you moved out here?
What's 38 minus 12?
Yeah, so you're 24.
26
There you go.
26. Okay, so yeah, you're an adult when you moved out here.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I got? Yeah, 38 minus 12.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're like an established adult, and you're like, so you.
I mean, anyway, yeah, one would think, right?
No, well, I mean,
Yeah, I
you're already a
mean,
teenager, so you. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, you had to come out, fly on your own and everything, but
Each episode we like to each take a recommendation.
Mhm.
So I got chill rec, or no, I got a food rec, Las Vegas food rec.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to ask you if you had a gear recommendation. And what I mean by that is anything in your line of work that makes your job or life easier,
Mhm.
that like maybe not, every other DJ or somebody starting out would necessarily think about or know.
Oh man. Well, the CDJ 3000 is like, it's pretty obvious, but that's like the industry standard.
that's like a gold standard, right?
Yeah, the newest CDJ. They're supposed to come out with the Nexus mixer to match it, but I mean that thing's like a workhorse. That all the Pioneer stuff is, but just the flexibility that it offers you, like all the ways you can use it and link it up with laptops and mixers, and it's just they're dope.
Right.
And
Yeah.
those sort of came about like right when everything was reopening, so it was just fun that just playing these. Well, so things were reopening, but I was also starting the new venue Zook, so
Right.
it was a new venue and it was new for me, and everyone was back from the pandemic, and we had all this cool new gear that Pioneer just put out. The CDJ is 3000, so just using them is.
So it's like an exciting thing and multiple layers
Yeah.
of, I get it. Like the new toy, but then also a new venue and things
Yeah.
are back. So it's like a lot of excitement based around that.
New gear does
Yeah.
add a funness too.
Yeah, new gear plus a new venue. I mean, even for us,
Yeah.
right? Like same thing. Like you're in a new environment that you're like, all right, well, I get to get used to it. I get to see it.
Yeah,
So
I couldn't handle all that. I would have exploded with excitement.
Well, some people were like, I don't even want to use these until I practice with them more.
That's true too.
That's cool.
So even now, like some people still use the 2000s. They still don't want to use the 3000s, but I don't know. I'm all about it.
I saw. What's the other main brand instead of Pioneer? It starts with a D.
Well, Denon
Yeah,
is one.
I saw a
maybe.
Denon one. It was like it looked insane compared to the Pioneer ones. It's just like it's almost basically like all screens.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
There's so much stuff out there, but yeah, for whatever. Well, yeah, Pioneer's just like
it's like the standard, right?
yeah.
Yeah. What was your recommendation, Sean?
We just had this. It's called how do I pronounce it? Narong's Thai Bistro. It just
Oh,
opened
Thai
up. I
food.
guess we had come across it on Yelp, and so we went to check it out a couple weeks ago, and it was amazing. It's right there on Windmill. It's like Windmill and Spencer, I want to say. But yeah, nice little Thai spot.
Very nice.
What do you got for chill? What's Mike chilling?
Just taking time for yourself to actually chill. That's my recommendation.
Just sitting and staring at the wall.
If that's what you need to do, then that's what you need to do. No, yeah, just like allotting time to actually relax. Yeah, but then also like more of like I just finished Ozarks. That was a good one. It's a nice thing to do while you're chilling. Did you watch it at all?
Yeah, that show just
That's
stuff.
not much of a chill.
I was gonna say, man.
Well, I mean, it's a little
stuff's
heavy,
Always
Yeah.
happening.
It's a little
like
heavy.
nonstop,
but
but it's to someone else and not to you. So it's
yeah. But yeah, so I just finished that. That was nice. Got to relax a little bit last night. I finished that. What'd you guys think about the ending?
You had to remind me. I forgot. So
Yeah.
and now I just re-forgot. So I don't.
remind
did
us
you-
both.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler.
I haven't
If you're
seen it.
yeah, we'll give you like 30 seconds. If you haven't seen it, either skip or come back.
Yeah, just they got pressed by the PI because they were looking for the
right.
uncle.
Yes, that's
and
right.
then Jonah killed him.
Right.
Yeah, to protect the
Jonah
family.
killed the PI.
Yeah.
In the backyard, right?
And he's
Yeah.
like, "What are you guys, the fucking Kennedys?" And then they all laughed, and then they killed him.
That's right. And then it ends.
Yep. But it's just like super gangster. It's just like,
Oh yeah, the whole family's like.
And then it ended with them moving back to They were gonna move back to Chicago the next day. So like
That's right.
the show Ozarks took place of just basically their time in the Ozarks.
And that's it.
And then Ruth died at the end too. She got killed. But
Really?
wait, yeah. Did she get?
yeah, the cartel leader's sister killed
That's
her because she
right.
killed her son.
Because she killed the brother. Yeah, Javi. Or
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
was it Javi?
Yeah.
But
so
what was the scene with the crash?
that was so yeah, they crashed on the way home. But like they in the beginning of that season, I think they crashed, and then like
Then it shows him in Mexico with what's his face, and it's like a weird.
yeah, so it was they showed like they were alluding to the ending of the show, and then that whole season was what happened in between, leading up to the crash, basically. Yeah. But I digress. The show's not. This is not about that.
Can be.
Podcast battles.
You got any fun jobs coming up? Anything you're looking forward to doing outside of the norm?
Or any DJs coming in that have a residency that
You excited to go see?
or play.
Yeah,
With,
or
right?
open
Yeah,
for at Zoom.
I'm opening for Dead Mouse Friday.
Oh, sick.
That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
at Zook. So
It's pretty big, dude.
What's that? That's this week, right? What are we on Tuesday?
Labor Day weekend, the beginning of Labor Day weekend.
Ooh.
So it'd be like the second.
Have you played with him yet?
Yes.
Okay, so you're familiar.
Yeah, he brings
rad?
the cube, like he does his cube show. So they set up the cube, and then nobody else DJs in that, so they set up like a satellite booth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean nobody wants to see me in the cube; they want to see Dead Mouse in the
Right.
cube. Like, it's like makes sense, right? So,
Yeah.
but no, it's. I mean, there's only one Dead Mouse. That's all I can
Yeah.
say. He's one into himself
And he plays like a lot of his own stuff, right?
primarily.
Or is it exclusive?
I mean, I would say like 80% of it is his.
Oh, dang.
That's so
Like
crazy.
his tracks.
His
I
own
mean, he's not
music,
even
yeah.
DJing. It's live. It's Ableton. So
Yeah.
so it's cool seeing someone in the venue that's not like DJing per se. I mean, he's a producer,
Performing, essentially,
right?
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a live show, so
Oh, I see.
he's not. Yeah, it's not like track one, track. Well, it is, but it's his stuff and it's in Ableton, and he's not using CDJs or anything. So
Yeah.
Do you ever get to meet or hang out with the DJs you're playing with, or is it just transactional of like you're there before and then they come out and it's just like
a lot of it's
ever
that like you share like some stage interaction, but as time goes on, if you're like in the club, the resident, like the way I am, like you develop a rapport based off that.
Okay.
And then it becomes personal after, people get a feel for you. And
But do you get to like hang out with them like before, maybe after type of thing, or is it just?
I guess my role usually is like direct support, but also closing.
Right.
So it's like a stage interaction, and then by the time I turn around, they're gone. Because I'm like closing for them. So.
Right.
Yeah, because you're playing like the first hour and a half, and then they play like 2 hours, and then you play the last hour and a half. So you guys are both busy for that 6 hour block.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like if I do go to dinner with like another DJ or hang out or something, it's like I'm not working that night, and they might be or something.
Oh,
but
okay.
We're not both usually because when they're eating dinner, I'm warming up for them or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
There is like, no time for you to even have that.
On the night of, but you develop a rapport and then you start hanging out outside of the, doing other stuff or whatever. So just takes time to like, interact with someone a couple times.
Right.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Well,
didn't you want to ask him his favorite pair of sneakers?
Oh, I did. Yeah. Do you have a favorite pair of shoes?
I was thinking about that. I guess favorite in that, yeah, I've worn these like all summer, these Sakai Blazers. And I guess they I feel like they go with everything. So
Yeah. These are Blazers too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, these
Blazer
are the
highs.
77 Blazers.
Yeah.
I had the Blazer low SBs.
Mm.
It was my favorite pair of shoes. The skateboarding when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was in high school. But nice. What other shoes are you rocking? He gave me a really good t-shirt rec.
Did he?
Shaka.
Oh, the Shock. Did you get some? Did you pick some
I
up?
didn't because a lot of them were out of stock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still have them in my tab.
Oh, wow.
I haven't looked in like a couple weeks. But
Yeah.
As soon as I got home, I looked, and the colors I wanted did not have the sizes I wanted.
Shoot.
Yeah, I used to wear the Shakas. Are they still like $5?
They're like 15 or something t-shirt.
Oh, damn.
Mark Nash recommended that. He talked about Shaka too.
Yeah,
Oh,
I used to rock Pro 5 and Shakas back in the day.
Like the t-shirts?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. This one's Shaka.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I recognized it.
Yeah. They're good t-shirts.
Yeah, man, they're good. I'm still looking for a good t-shirt. It's more like the care process.
These ones are nice, but they're expensive. These
P&Co.
P&Co, yeah.
I got 2 shirts, but they're the
$50
graphic
a
ones.
piece.
Yeah, baller over here.
Oh, just the blank ones.
I should start shooting weddings, man.
Well, I ordered 2, and I was like, "Fuck, $50 for a blank." But I love them. But I'm like, I'm probably gonna stop at the 2 because like, it can't be.
Yeah, they look good though.
50. Yeah, they're nice. They're
I know what to get you for Christmas.
soft. Yeah, if
There you go.
you want to drop a paycheck, no.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
So all my social and is at Esto Vega. ESTOVEGA.
We'll
Esto
plug
Vega.
everything for you.
Yeah. SoundCloud, Spotify.
Oh, I wanted to ask that.
iTunes.
Do you ever put out like I know you produce your own music, but do you ever put out like mixes or like
I have some mixes on my SoundCloud.
Okay.
So it's /Esto Vega. Yeah.
because I always like love local obviously I have the biggest relationship with local DJs. But I'm like, this is sick. I want to like listen to this outside of
Yeah.
being at work.
Yeah, and actually hear it and not be like it too, in the moment.
Right.
Yeah. Do you actively like make new mixes or it's just kind of like a
I should probably put up a new one.
Yeah.
You've laid down the gauntlet. Like I need to do a new mix.
okay?
It's gonna happen.
There you go.
Nice.
You have a deadline for them. That way, hold
Yeah,
them to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Hold me accountable.
my birthday's on December 3rd.
Oh,
there
that's
you go.
you're being very kind. I got you. No
Couple-
problem.
Couple months.
New
Well,
mix
we're busy,
dropping
we're busy
soon.
boys.
Yeah.
Right?
Peak
That's-
season, dude.
Realistic
We're getting
timeline.
after it.
I like it. Thank you.
Yeah. All about realistic timelines around here.
I mean, you could say I need it tomorrow, but it doesn't mean you're gonna get it tomorrow.
It's true. How's it feel to want?
All right. Want, need.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's about it, guys.
Thank
This
you for
was
having me.
awesome.
That was,
Dude, thanks
was
for
very
jumping
awesome.
on. This
Thanks
was good.
for pioneering the pathway for DJs to be on our podcast.
You set the bar.
Very
We had
high.
Esteban on, so you better come with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been cool talking, and I think it's important for creatives to like band together, and you look at all the great art movements, like Andy Warhol, The Factory. It was like all people from different artistic callings coming together. Doing
Yeah.
cool stuff.
We gotta, especially supporting each other, I think is the biggest thing.
Mhm.
Not being negative towards each other or putting up the claws.
Right,
you know?
photographers and photographers, DJs and DJs, like,
Or
like,
photographers versus DJs like, oh, fuck this guy again.
Yeah. Just
I mean, it's all a working relationship, so.
yeah.
actually, I wanted to close with this. Do you have any advice for either
Yes.
a younger Esteban or somebody kind of maybe starting out that wants to get into DJing or further? Like, what advice would you give a younger individual?
This wasn't on the sheet, so I'm thinking.
Surprise.
Then I threw the good. Then
Surprise,
I threw it back to
bitches.
impromptu at you.
Yeah. Advice to myself. Believe in yourself. Honestly, just get. You're gonna doubt yourself, and you're gonna think what am I doing with my life? But you come this far, keep going. I don't know. That's so generic.
Stay the course.
It's not. I think believing in yourself is perfect.
It takes a long time to. I mean, I can't say I 100% believe in myself. I don't know if I'll ever get to that, but it's like If I think you have to work at it.
Well, that's what I was just thinking.
Maybe I don't know. Some people believe in themselves too much.
Well, I mean, I was just saying
Maybe,
that
I
even
don't
on this episode alone, all three of us have admitted that we still, in our current, day and profession, still experience self-doubt. So I think that, even, currently you're still like have those days or moments where you're like, what am I doing?
If you're not, then you're complacent maybe, or you're not even paying attention. I don't know if you're just like, I got this locked up forever. Like,
Right.
I don't know if it works like that.
Going through the motions.
Well, it could be like back to what you were saying, like how you like to go to shows and you see both sides of it, the complacency. Yeah.
When I'm like, if I've supported and I'm not DJing, like I will go on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't I? I'm not gonna just stand back there the whole time waiting to go back on.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't leave the backstage or whatever. Like, not at all. Like, I need to get. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I don't go to GA.
Yeah, no, and that's the vibe. There's some people that like that's just the vibe or whatever. Like, okay, that's cool, but as a DJ, I want to know what it looks like on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, no, some people don't. Yeah, a lot of people have the stigma.
Well, it's packed and it's crazy and but
it's nice that you go the extra mile to like really try to see it from an audience's perspective.
I mean, it
and
only benefits me.
Yeah, and then you're seeing what these people are paying for and how they're experiencing it.
Right, because you forget.
Yeah,
Get lost in the sauce.
All day.
Sweet. All right, man.
That was a good closing.
That's very good. Thank you for all the one-liners.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Okay, you're welcome.
All the tips.
Yeah.
All little nuggets.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
See you guys.
See ya.
Later.
Surprised you didn't get up this time, dude.
Dude, I was trying not to so hard. Oh, damn.